Well, good morning, church, and welcome to the December 30th edition of the Musings. This past weekend, I got to do a little preaching at my home church, and I want to dig just a bit deeper into a part of that message. The sermon focused on an event in the life of Christ, which is described in Matthew 22. In this particular encounter, Jesus is being questioned by a bunch of religious scholars, and one of them asks him, which of the commandments in the law is the greatest? Well, Jesus told him that the greatest commandment was to love God, heart, soul, and mind. In other words, totally. Give all that you are to God, nothing held back. Jesus then added that the second greatest commandment was to love others as you love yourself. And that's the part I want to speak about today. Love your neighbor as yourself. It's not easy to love other people. Oh, we love our families and we have deep affections for our friends, but Jesus' concept of neighbor and who your neighbor is covers virtually everybody. He made that pretty clear with his story about the Good Samaritan, a man who put the well-being of a complete stranger ahead of his own at no small cost to himself. It seems that this is the kind of love that Jesus says we are to extend to everybody. Selfless, free-flowing, generous, and sacrificial love. How can that be? I mean, I don't know everybody. And if I did, I'm sure I wouldn't even like everyone. I don't trust everyone. I have no history with everyone. How can I be expected to have love for everyone? Perhaps the answer lies in the many different categories of love. In contemporary America, we use the word love quite a bit. It covers a lot of territory. We say, I love my kids and I love pizza. Surely there is some qualitative difference in those two loves. Well, the first century Greeks, being wiser than we, had several words for different forms of love. Storge, feelings of general affection, like what you might feel when you see a puppy. Or Philias, which is brotherly love, the way you feel towards your friends. Eros, physical love between a husband and wife. And agape, the selfless, sacrificial love that Jesus described in that same parable of the Good Samaritan. Now, those first three of those categories of love are primarily emotional or biochemical, and they involve feelings. Agape is different. Agape is not a feeling, it's a decision, a choice to put the needs of others ahead of one's own. The Apostle Paul spoke of agape love in Philippians 2, verses 3 and 4. He wrote, "Do nothing out of rivalry or conceit, but in humility consider others as more important than yourselves. Everyone should look out not only for his own interests, but also for the interests of others." Agape doesn't require that we have warm feelings for other people. Agape doesn't even require that we know them at all. Agape works outside of all that. Agape does not come from the heart. Agape comes from the will. Agape is the kind of love that God has for His creation, for His children. Agape love is what led Christ to the cross. Agape love is higher and deeper and stronger than any emotion. It is a divine love. And that is the kind of love that we are called to show to the world. God bless you all.